Breathing is the most readily available health tool that we all have. Our breath has been used for millennia, for thousands of years, by ancient cultures all over the world. There's a good reason for this. Our ancestors didn't have the scientific language that we use today to describe it, to understand it, but our modern science really explains in a new language what we've known for thousands of years. I can briefly sign up what we know today about the value of our breathing and why it's worthy of some attention. And then we can actually do a little breathing exercise that would demonstrate it by paying attention to our breathing. So here's the basic science. A huge part of what's happening in our bodies at every moment is managed and regulated by the autonomic nervous system. It occupies large parts of our brains, and it's the part that works automatically without our conscious intervention. Our brain receives a huge amount of information at all times, from our senses, from the world, from our body. It filters it, it discards what is not useful, it responds to what's important. We all know about the 5 senses that gives us information from the world. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. We learned in school that we have 5 senses. This is, of course, not true. Depending on how experts divide the different sensors that we have in our body, we have more than 30 senses. There's a large number of sensors and nerve cells throughout our body that send information to our brain. Our body's relationship with gravity, balance, right? The position of and muscle tone of the different body parts. You know where your arm is even if you close your eyes, right? How? There is some proprioceptive sense that is in charge of that gives you that information. And all of the body's chemistry, blood flow, the composition of the blood, the oxygen balance, there's so much happening, and this information flows into the brain constantly. Our brain responds to this ocean of information in real time and modifies hundreds of elements constantly. Here's an example. I applied a CGM some 10 days ago, a continuous glucose monitor. I wanted to see how my blood sugar is doing and how I respond to different foods, and I'm happy to confirm that it's working well so far. And it's an amazing mechanism. When I eat, the insulin is released to take care of the glucose that enters the bloodstream and bring this as energy to all the cells in my body, right? If sugar levels drop, this can be dangerous because the brain must have a supply of energy all the time. So too much insulin will be a big problem. But too little insulin and my blood sugar will go up, which is quite devastating for the body in the long run. So when the system works as it should, it keeps my blood glucose in a narrow range at all times. Not too high, not too low. I have a daughter with type 1 diabetes that is insulin dependent. Her body doesn't produce insulin. So I know quite well how difficult it is to do because she has to do it on her own. She measures her blood sugar levels many times a day, and she has to distribute the insulin supply from the outside. Add insulin when she eats, reduce insulin intake when she sleeps, and it's a roller coaster. There's no way she can maintain her sugar levels within that narrow range of non-diabetic, although she's quite good at it. The way our body does it, our brain does it, is so precise and so perfect. It's amazing how our body knows how to regulate itself. And this is just one example of hundreds of elements, chemicals, hormones, and systems that are brought back to homeostasis, to equilibrium, every second of our lives. Our breathing is part of that autonomic system. It accelerates, it decelerates. When we run, we start breathing through our mouth. It changes according to circumstances, according to need. And it happens automatically. Our brain responds to what is necessary at the moment and adjusts the breathing according to the information that it gets all the time. And here's the good news. Among all of these things that the autonomic nervous system takes care of, regulates, our breathing is the one element that we can take out of autopilot and regulate consciously. I don't know how to change my blood pressure, my sweating, my body temperature, the release of hormones and gastric fluids at will. Can you? Probably not. Although some people learn to do these things, I'm not one of them. But I can change my breathing at will easily. I can decide to breathe slower or faster. I can even hold my breath for a few seconds. I can train to hold my breath longer. I can breathe through my mouth or through my nose. I can breathe more into my belly or into my chest. I can follow a rhythm and sustain it over time, which we'll do in a second. And all of these changes affect my whole body, because breathing is part of this autonomic system that regulates pretty much everything my living body does. We know it intuitively. If you slow down your breathing, you calm down. This is not just a mental exercise, it is a physiological process. Change your breathing and lots of things change in your body. That's why our breathing is such a powerful tool. You can take it out of autopilot, you can manage it, and you can change the state of your nervous system. And with it, your state of mind. It is quick, it is almost immediate. And the most useful use of this fact, at least in our modern world, is that you can calm down. Calm your mind that tends to be too agitated most of the time. Lower your stress level, which tends to be too high in our modern times. There are many ways to do it, and I'd like to look into one of them with you right now. 1 minute of conscious breathing. This is one of the most ancient rhythms that can be found in different cultures around the world. It's called box breathing because it looks like a little box, a square. This is how it goes. You breathe in for the count of 4. You hold your breath for the count of 4. You breathe out for the count of 4. And hold your breath again without air for 4. You can use the seconds of a clock, but you can adjust it to your needs. If it feels too difficult, you can accelerate, or you can slow down if it feels good. We're going to use seconds to count now, so you get a cycle of 16 seconds, which means a little less than 4 breaths per minute. Consider that our average breathing rhythm of the population at large in our culture is about 15 breaths per minute. That's when you breathe automatically without thinking. So we're going to slow it down quite a bit. And you'll be able to feel quite clearly that your state of mind changes, your body is calmer, things change quickly. And if you get your mind to be calmer, a little slower, less noisy, better focused, it's definitely good for you. So let's go. Begin. Inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. Hold your breath. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. out, hold. Want to keep this rhythm for a little longer? Here is a video where we do it for about 4.5 minutes. It's on my channel, so enjoy it. Stay well, stay in motion.